Hey, good evening. It's really great to have you guys here. My name is Daniel. I was a professional opera singer, and I did some beatboxing on the side. And tonight we're going to be reacting to Pentatonix's rendition of Dance of the Sugar Plum Fairy. I love this piece. I remember listening to it a lot growing up, and I know Pentatonix is really, really good at their arrangements and just creating a unique sound that is solely their own. And ultimately, after hearing VoicePlay's rendition of In the Hall of the Mountain King, I have no doubt that Pentatonix is capable of producing something really great in their own regard for this very classic melody. So without further ado, let's just jump into it. Ooh, nice lead-in. Ooh. Woo! Oh my gosh, that beatboxing. Oh my god, dude. Ooh. This is so great, dude! Nice. Yeah! Ooh, so crisp. Wow, that was really well executed. Just some things that I can think of right off the top of my head. The very muted and subtlety, but the very tight intricacies of Kevin's beatboxing were so phenomenal. And Avi's bass wasn't the lowest thing in the world, but it was still very full, and it gave you exactly what you wanted in the context of the piece. It didn't need to stand out, even though there were moments it did, and it was just really well executed. Mitch, his just progression up was lovely, and all of them just did a really great job providing a foundation for each other and building the piece and generating momentum through it. All the dynamics, the arrangement, everything was just so clean and consistent, and it was so well executed. Like, when we think of professional performers, we have this expectation that they need to perform at that level, but if you've ever sat in a practice room with a bunch of musicians trying to make something work, it very rarely ever does. So oftentimes you're just going to run into problem after problem after problem that you just need to keep hammering out until eventually you get it. But this being the final product, it's so clean and so good. I'm so excited to do an analysis of this. Yeah, that lead-in is so good. And they're so light. It doesn't feel very weighted. It's very airy and very staccato, very just touching on the notes. And they're in the middle of the notes as they're touching on them, which is pretty difficult to do. It's very easy to go sharp or flat when you're just doing ha, ha, ha. And just being able to generate that momentum going upward instead of going ha, ha, ha. You can start feeling the weight if you hold notes longer than they need to. So to keep riding the momentum and constantly staying in the middle of the note, very impressive. Oh yeah, and these dynamics, yeah, it just adds more body and depth to the piece. I love it. Yeah, and I love how everybody except for Avi is doing da 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 ah with open ahs, and Avi being the foundation, the bass, is just really sustaining that bass line of boom, boom, boom. It's a very good effect. Yeah. It just keeps you on your toes. And Kevin's beatboxing right here, it's so muted, but it's so exact and crisp and gives you that tonal atmosphere that you just really need in this segment. It's so good and clean. Yes. Yeah. And Scott's little da-da-da-dum. It's such a good transition. It's so quiet and smooth, but it still has strength behind it to carry everyone else and keep that momentum flowing. It's so great. Oh yeah. And they just emphasize Kevin's because that sound is so light and so airy and doesn't have a lot of substance to it, they highlight it by just making it the only sound audible at that moment, but also turning the volume up on it. Just kind of creating a sensation of, wow, it's soft, yet it feels like I was just punched in the face by wind, a kind of sensation, and I really love that. Yeah, and his inward K there, Kevin's inward K, it just adds more. It just keeps growing and building his beatboxing throughout the piece, which is great because you start from and you go into something more substantial, more harder, crisper sounds like that inward K. So, love it. Yeah, and then a more, just this more wave-like kind of sensation that's it just flows so well. And the beautiful thing about this is that each member of the group is individually responsible for keeping the momentum of the rest of the group moving forward. And everybody's putting in that equal level of work, and I love to see it. Yeah! Yeah, and right here, Kevin's beatboxing it feels like there's a cloth over it, where you can still feel the crispness of a sound, but just to have that, and while the emphasis is on Avi, just doing his really smooth legato lines, it's so well audio engineered, and I love this. Yeah. Yeah, and That's not the lowest Avi can go. It's not, and I don't want him to go any lower there. It's just this nice, full, robust bass sound. It's very crisp, and it's right in the center of the pitch. It's within the tone of the piece. It's nothing over dramatic or histrionic. It's just exactly what it needs to be, and I love that. And just the fact that Kevin gets to sing at the end there, it's so wonderful, because throughout the entire piece you get and you just get these really solid beats from him, but just to have him come in as an additional voice and just fill out the rest of the chords for the remainder of the piece, it's just so expertly arranged, and oh my gosh, I'm in love with this arrangement and this execution. What wonderful execution. Great job, Pentatonix. Great job. Thank you all so much for watching this video. If you liked it, please leave a like, a comment, a subscribe, and if you didn't like it, please leave a dislike and let me know why in the comments. I read all of the comments, even though I might not hard to reply to all of them, but just know that I do read them and I take them into consideration as I make future videos. Thank you so much for being here. It truly does mean a lot to me, and I can't wait to see all of you in the next video. Have a great rest of your evening, everyone.